Hi everybody and welcome to another video. My name is Richard Seidlitz and I'm the owner of redpants.lol. Some of you will probably recognize that I am in what used to be my dining room. Not that I've ever used it for dining. With the screen disconnected. Alright, it's a good thing I wore a white shirt. Move this panel from your Aston Martin. Oh my god, this thing. I think I had dinner in it maybe once or twice, maybe twice the entire time I've owned this house. But now it's time to move on to another adventure. So you can see I've got some boxes scattered around. There's even more behind me. Well, behind you, behind the camera. There we go. It's been a long day. I'm running on 4 hours of sleep, so I probably look terrible, and not that I don't usually anyway, but I am about to go on one epic journey. So about 11 months ago, almost 12 months ago now, I made a video about how I was quitting my career to go out and be my own boss. The day that this video will be going live is my 36th birthday. That's not the announcement. The announcement is that I'm celebrating by ending my career. That sounded a lot better in my head. I was going to be completely dependent on Red Pants as my sole source of income for my livelihood. And I walked away from a very stable, lucrative career, and then 2020 happened. I've been very fortunate that business has been good. Everything behind the scenes has been an absolute nightmare. But aside from that, business has actually been pretty good. 2020 sucked. Still sucks. It's been one of those years where everything's kind of not gone according to plan. And so what I did was I took a look at where I'm at and I decided I want a new plan. I want to have a completely different life than what I'm doing. So part of that has been readjusting the storefront, the website, and everything else. I've changed the way my distribution works, my shipping works. I'm still getting a lot of the kinks worked out, but I'm getting closer. But a lot of that was in part leading up to some changes I wanted to make, and they fed into the change I'm making now, which is basically that I'm selling my house and most of my stuff. That pile right there is all I'm keeping, along with my wine cabinet, my bar, and Carl the Key Frog. He holds my keys when I drink with Steve. Steve is the name of my bar. I don't know why people don't take me seriously. I'm getting rid of a lot of things because I want to change what I'm doing. I have this amazing, amazing house. It's absolutely wonderful, but I don't need this. It's more hassle than it's worth. It's more expensive than it's worth to me. It's exactly where I want to be in like 30 years, but I'm not 30 years ahead. I'm where I'm at right now. So what I'm doing is I'm getting rid of all of my stuff except for that small pile right there, and I'm going to start traveling. I'm going to be leaving here. I'm leaving Florida. I'm driving up to the Washington, D.C. area. I'll be up there for a little while before continuing on to Texas, and then from Texas, I'll be going up to Idaho. And I'll be in Idaho for probably a couple of months with my family until the borders open up, whenever that may be. And once the borders open up, I can continue traveling, including moving somewhere outside of the United States. Now, I'm sure some of you that know me really well are not going to be too surprised by my choice. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time. I've never lived overseas, except for when I was in Iraq, but I don't think that really counted. I don't really count that as living overseas. This is something I've always wanted to do, is go abroad for more than just a trip. You know, I've spent a couple weeks in many places, but never lived overseas. So I'm looking forward to this. The other big thing with this is it's allowing me to focus on what I need to do. You know, the bottom line with Red Pants was that I started it to help people out. And as it grew, I thought I could do everything, and I was very, very wrong. For me, as an enthusiast and as somebody that's passionate about cars in general, especially with Aston Martins, I want to be able to help people with their questions and sort of, you know, provide whatever input and guidance that I can wherever it's relevant. And I haven't been able to do that. So by sort of changing how I'm structuring my life as a whole, as well as Red Pants, I can get back to those basics. And that's what I'm really looking forward to. I mentioned it in a video that I did a couple weeks ago. If you didn't see that video, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so that you get notified when I do post things in case something like that happens again. But point being, once I am out of here and I'm sort of settled into the next place, I can go back to working on my website to give you more content, more DIY guides, making more videos, and doing all the things that you guys come to Red Pants for. So that's kind of what's going on. And that's what I'm hoping will start to go smoothly, because none of this has gone smoothly whatsoever. Let's just be very blunt. Nothing has gone smoothly. This transition has been Awful, 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 awful. But it's almost over, and I'm going to stop right there before I start crying into my pillow again. Not that I haven't done that a few times in the last couple of weeks, but let's move on. So what I'm doing next is I'm having some shippers come. They're clearing out all the stuff that is here. They're supposed to be here in the next hour or two, so hopefully that actually does happen. Once all this stuff is cleared out, I am driving up to Washington, D.C. Like I said, I'm doing this road trip, and that is the first leg. Along the way, I'm going to be testing all the stuff that I've been doing with my car recently. So as many of you may know, I've recently supercharged my V8 Vantage. So far, so good. I think I have a boost leak, which was something I sort of suspected when I was doing the installation, and I found out pretty quickly during shakedown. I just haven't had time to address it. It's one of those things that, had I done the installation, shakedown, and everything right at the same time, wouldn't be a problem. It was something I thought about, but because my schedule has been so swamped, I kind of rolled the dice to see maybe it won't be an issue, and I think it might be. So I'm going to be fixing that while I'm up in Virginia. I'm driving with the boost leak right now. No big deal, because it's not like I'm racing or doing anything crazy, and it drives wonderfully anyway. So that's one of the things. I've also got that set of Cobra Nagaros in the car. Those are not nearly as comfortable as the factory seats. I like them. I think they're very comfortable, but it doesn't have the reclinability, the adjustability, or anything like that. So for long drives, which I'm going to be doing a lot of long drives over the next few weeks, this is going to be something that I'm curious to see how well I can handle it, because my body, my age may be 37, but my body is twice that in the feels and the looks, I think, at this point. Anyway, so I've got the seats I'll be testing out. One of the things I wanted to have done by now was suspension, but that was one of the things that kind of got lost in the mix of everything that's been happening. Beyond that, I've also got a couple other projects that I want to do while I'm up in Virginia, as well as while I'm driving across the U.S. So that's kind of what's going to be happening. I'm going to be doing some updates as I go along, so you'll be kind of getting some feedback on these different products, because I know that's one of the reasons people, one of the things people ask me a lot about is my thoughts and feedback, whether it's pros, cons, concerns, anything of that nature for any modification. And I like to do as much testing as possible so that I can give that firsthand account and honest feedback. And having done two very, very major things to my car in the supercharger and the seats, it's going to be really interesting to see how they play out over long haul driving, especially as much as I'm doing. Okay, so here we go. All the stuff right here is about to get loaded up into my car.